Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. In this video, I'm going to focus on the update for curved rooms because this update is kind of the best thing to ever happen to build mode in my opinion, because I love curved rooms, any round shape, and this update came out a couple of days before high school years came out, and I kind of focused on the pack first. I didn't really have time to really focus on the curved rooms update because I just wanted to really take a look at high school years first. I had used the curved rooms for my high school years builds, but this build it's not about high school years, it's really only about the curved rooms. I just wanted to create a wonderful modern mansion that has so many round shapes. I've used different packs for this, but it's really just about modern architecture, lots of round shapes, and I had the best time building this. So I wanted this build to be as complex and amazing as possible. So I knew that I would like to have lots of different levels, so it's really complex and beautiful. So I started off by building a room, and then I lowered the room into the ground and build a floor piece on top, and this way I was able to kind of set the base for creating a walkout basement situation. The problem is when you just start to build on the ground, so you just build your room, you expand the build, and then you realize that you would like to have another level below. Your only way to do this is by using a basement, and the problem is if I would have used a basement, I could have removed the ceiling, but I couldn't have used a curved room down there because sadly the curved rooms don't work in basements. And yeah, just had to make sure right from the start that I have another level below. You can just see it on the side that there is a room below. So at this point I hadn't used it yet. I was just working on the part that is kind of above ground, but I like to do this, and sometimes I just remove the room at the bottom because at some point I realized, okay, I don't really need it. But by starting this way, I always have the option to expand the build at the bottom. I don't need a regular basement. The main difference is also that I could just remove a wall, the floor, and I could use the terrain tools to smooth everything out. So I can just kind of incorporate the terrain tools into this, and you can't do this if you are just using a basement because then it's really just a wall, and even if you remove the ceiling, it's not the same. Both options are great, but it just depends on what you're going for. But especially now with this update, if you're planning to have like a curved room down here, you can see it here, like at this point, I have finally made use of the basement area. It's not really a basement, but like of the additional level, which is down there. And you can see that I have this really big round section. It starts at the bottom, and then I have another curved room on top, and this is exactly why I did that. So this would be my number one advice if you want to create something like this. Just start off by building the room and bring it down, and then you can just create the rest of your build, and you always have this option. Here I'm using the Spade Stony Goodness slab to kind of hide the gap. I have a tutorial on the way about this. This is like a tricky subject because there are workarounds for this. I'm going to cover this in a video very soon, but I was going for this specific look here, which is why I went back to just using the good old Spade Stony Goodness slab. But I'm going to talk about this in depth in a video soon. But yeah, for this build, for this specific situation, I decided to do it this way. I then expanded the build on the left side. You can see that there's like nothing below this floating room, and I decided to leave it this way so I would be able to use the terrain tools below. Terrain tools are always fun, and I knew that I would like to create some type of slope, and I just like the combination of all these round shapes and these really rectangular shapes like this roof, for example. And yeah, I mean, at this point we all know that there are lots of bugs and that we just need a patch at this point. So there are so many visual glitches, and also like I placed all these windows on the curved rooms, and then when I was starting to furnish this, there was this weird glitch, like a diagonal line going through all the windows, and then when I picked up each window and placed it, like put it back into its original place, it was gone. And yeah, in case you're encountering this, just maybe pick up the windows and place them in the same spot. I feel like at this point we just have to embrace the update for what it is. I'm really happy, but I feel like we need a patch. The thing is, there are lots of limitations, and these limitations will probably never go away because, as I've talked about in prior videos, the whole thing is kind of based on the platforms and foundations. They have the same dimensions, they have the same restrictions essentially, so it is what it is. But I feel like some of the glitches, these could be fixed and they should be fixed. So it's kind of okay that there are certain limitations and we just have to live with this, and we have to just find workarounds, which is always fun. Like, I like the challenge. But yeah, for all these visual glitches, we please need a update very soon. Here I'm using the Spade monolith. It's just a decorative object and a rug from Journey to Batu. As you know, I love to use rugs to have a beautiful guideline so I can really follow the shape and I have a really smooth and perfect shape, because I just wanted to have the shape down here. This is a shape that you cannot create by just simply using a curved room. Again, the curved rooms have the same dimensions as the foundation pieces and platform pieces. So if you want to have a really big round shape like this one, you still have to create them yourself, which isn't difficult. I mean, if you want to learn this, I have multiple tutorials on my channel. It's really easy. You really just need to hold on Alt on your keyboard and the left mouse button to rotate objects freely. You have to activate the Sims 3 camera first, and then it's just practice. But I've talked about this in lots of videos and tutorials, so if you want to learn this, you can check them out. I always link the tutorial playlist in the description box. But yeah, I just wanted to have a combination of a custom KateEmerald round shape and the curved walls. And I used more of them because I wanted to have some type of flower bed down there. And yeah, the whole build is very, very modern. Like, I especially noticed when I was taking the screenshots when I was kind of done, it looked almost like some type of industrial complex. Like, when you look from the inside, like into the garden area down there, it looks very like there's just so much concrete. It just has a really specific look. It's like one of those really minimalistic kind of cold looking builds, but on the inside it's really cozy in my opinion. I also tried to go a bit overboard on the interior, so it's like really luxurious and modern, but it's like far more cozy than the exterior. And yeah, I wanted to have a fireplace out there. I'm going to remove this one. It's from Idle Living, and there is one in debug from the base game. And I found this when I was streaming once, and someone was telling me that there is like this specific debug object from the base game, and I used this one. I'm going to change it later, and I had a hard time finding it. Also, speaking of streaming, I really want to stream again. Like, I always focus on creating videos and I don't want to promise anything. Like, I don't want to promise, yeah, I'm going to stream all the time, but I just kind of want to give it another shot and just stream for once, or maybe twice, or maybe all the time. But like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to promise anything this time around, but yeah, I definitely want to stream soon. And I think in this case we are going to work on a smaller build, because it's like super intimidating to stream when you are not a experienced streamer and you just create a gigantic mansion. Maybe something that I can finish in one stream, but we will see what's going to happen. I don't know if you would be interested in that. And yeah, I would also stream on YouTube again, and I had so much fun the last time, even though I was nervous, which is so weird because when I started to make videos, I was even nervous to record a video, which is weird because I'm just talking to myself here essentially. Like, and I just have as many takes as I need, if that makes sense. There's no reason to be nervous, but it felt super weird at first. And as soon as I pressed record, I got so nervous. My heart was beating so fast and I was so shy. And now it just feels like home. It feels so good just talking to you here. But with streaming, I'm not a experienced streamer, so I was nervous. But I guess as soon as you've streamed a couple of times, it just gets better as well. It's all about just practice and getting comfortable. But yeah, we will see. This is the front of the house. I also have all these round shapes, and I wanted to place the front door in a round room because I wanted to I just want this to be the focal point off the front of the house, and I then had some trouble. I used fountains for this. Usually I never think about using fountains, and I simply use a pool because I'm so used to just using a pool. But the problem is Sims always want to jump into a pool, and when you don't properly fence it off, Sims will get in there. And then you just have this water feature in front of the house and someone is swimming in there. So I didn't want this. I wanted to prevent this, so I just used the fountain tool. The problem is you can't build a fountain below anything, so you can't build it below a bridge or something, but this wasn't really an issue here. And it wasn't symmetrical at first. I had to change the shape a couple of times. I was just confusing myself here, and I had no idea what was going on. But yeah, I had to make so many changes to this very small bridge and water feature. Kind of the biggest struggle here. And I then wanted to just decorate this a bit. I used lots of trees, and I wanted to find this middle ground so it's nicely decorated. I still wanted there to be some trees and debug rocks, but I still wanted to have this really modern, really clean, minimalistic look. Also, these rocks are from high school years. They are in debug, and they have a really specific look. They look different from other debug rocks in my opinion. The thing is, sometimes we get some new debug rocks and they look identical to other debug rocks, and they just have a different color or texture or something, but these seem to be entirely new. The shape is completely new. It's always okay if we get debug rocks which look identical, but because they're just for decorating the world, and it's just kind of a extra bonus for us that we are allowed to access, live, edit, and debug. So it's totally okay that they repurpose rocks for this. But I'm always extra excited when we get a brand new debug rock, and these have a really specific look. As I said, they almost remind me of something that you would see in a comic, like in a cartoon or something. I feel like you could use them to create a really specific style and vibe, because some of the rocks we've gotten recently look very realistic. Like, I've talked about this before, but some debug objects, but also regular objects, almost look like Alpha CC, and I feel like some rocks look so hyper realistic, but these don't. They actually totally fit into the Sims 4 aesthetic and into the world. They basically look like Maxi Smash CC if you would like to put it into any category, and I like them. They look cool. Even though I like these hyper realistic rocks and trees and stuff, I think they look really good. I like them. I then started to work on a outdoor kitchen because I wanted to incorporate lots of stuff which you just need in a mansion. So I added a pool to the exterior. I'm also going to build an indoor pool. You will see all of that in the screenshots as well, and also a sauna, just different things, and of course the outdoor kitchen. And as you will see, for the interior, I'm going to use lots of objects from high school years. So even though this is not about high school years, because I just wanted to focus on this type of architecture, on round rooms and stuff, I definitely wanted to use them to create some teenager rooms. I feel like whenever I was creating a kid's room, it was really just a proper kid's room, and they most of the time looked very similar. But this time around, I just really wanted to have some proper teenager rooms, which is finally possible because of the pack. And yeah, here I'm working on a fireplace. Once again, shout out to Schnook who came up with this. I've been using this fireplace tutorial a couple of times now because I love it. And yeah, again, thank you to Schnook, and you will find the link to her tutorial in the description box. As I've said a couple of videos ago, I will probably always link Schnook by default now because I'm so obsessed with her amazing fireplace tutorial. And in this video that I'm going to link, you will also find other versions. Like, there are also other fireplaces that she creates using only the base game, but I really like to use this one. But the other ones are just as amazing, of course. And here you can see how I'm using the brand new LED light, which is a part of high school years, and also this rock. I at first also wanted to use the new armchair and sofa, but I wanted to have a really big area to just sit down. And the problem is, as I've said in another video, I don't like that there is like this blanket on every sofa and armchair, because as soon as you use two or more of them, it looks super weird. You can only really use one, and I totally had to use more here. I would have needed more if I would have used the ones from high school years, because look at how big this area is. So I simply used the section sofas from dream home decorator, and here I just used a single armchair and sofa from the pack. I love the whole, like the furniture from the pack in general is amazing. I just need a normal version without the blanket. Like for future packs, I wish if they like create a item like this, please just give us the regular sofa without any clutter, no pillows, no blanket, and then a second additional one which has the blanket, so you can just place one without the blanket and then a second one to just have this cluttered vibe. It just looks unrealistic and weird to have two of them and the blanket is in the exact same spot, as I've said before, and I just can't bring myself to use two of them in one spot. So here I've used one. You can here see it. Like, look at this. The sofa is so beautiful. Also, this table thingy below the TV is also from the pack. It has a more rustic vibe, but here it kind of fit into the design. And yeah, I've used the LED panels from the new pack and also these LED stripes from Spa Day, and I used them like in all kinds of different areas, and this makes the interior very modern. But then again, I've used a wood floor, and yeah, it's kind of cozy and inviting, but at the same time very modern. As I've said earlier, I wanted the interior to be very inviting. The bar is from Journey to Batu, which is like such a big surprise for so many people, because people just decided that it's not a good pack. And then they are surprised that there are so many amazing modern objects in this pack, like Built By is really amazing. Like Journey to Batu is such a cool pack when it comes to Built By. Can't say much about the gameplay. Haven't heard a lot of good things, but yeah, I'm just a builder. Here I'm working on a office area. So this whole circle, this complete round room is just an office, and I've combined two tables from the base game. This is one of those tables which were created by a CC creator for a base game update. I unfortunately don't know who created this table, but I've combined two of them, like two tables, and then I've used a wall decoration from Dine Out on the side to just make it look extra special. I then used a round table from the new pack and placed two armchairs in front of the table. So I've created a really fancy custom table where you could just sit and hang out. This looks like a really official office when you place two armchairs in front of a desk, but I like to do this because it looks really fancy, and also like I really like that when one sim sits at the PC, the other sim, like a household member, just chills on the armchair and they just chat while they are like doing different things. Like back then when I was still playing a lot and when I wasn't just building, I always liked that there was like always a space so another sim could just sit down and then they would just have a conversation. So I like this. So it looks fancy and it serves a purpose. And this is the hyper modern kitchen. It's like super fancy. The wallpaper is also from Journey to Batu, and the floor is glowing. It's from a Spa Day, and I wanted to have shelves because modern kitchens nowadays have shelves, and I was inspired by a build from the recent shell challenge, like from the winners video. I'm going to add the ID to the description box, and I just wanted to have this very modern vibe. The painting is from the base game. I just rotated it, and it's like really spacious and hyper modern. Again, lots of LED. It almost looks like a spaceship, like it's really over the top, but I felt like the exterior is so over the top that I just tried different things on the inside as well. This room isn't as cozy as the other ones. Yeah, it really looks like something from the future, and it doesn't really have, there isn't really a proper window, but I'm going to add a couple of windows in a minute, so it's going to be better very soon. But yeah, it's like really, really hyper modern, but I like this. I kind of love this vibe. It's really cool, and yeah, the LED straps are the best thing ever. So this item alone makes me really happy. Like whenever a new pack comes out, I start to hyper focus on a couple of new items, and yeah, this stripe will like always be part of my builds. Like I'm always going to use them in my modern builds, but here, like because it's so new, I use them in every room. I promise I won't use them in every single build in every room all the time, but here I just really had to use it everywhere because I was so excited. I then used this small table from the new pack just so I would have like something in front of the window where I could put some decoration on, essentially. And when you look at the dining area compared to the kitchen, it's already a bit more cozy. The chairs are also from the new pack. I love them so much because I don't like that some of the chairs look just like a like a really cheap chair. These almost look like armchairs, and I want to have this really luxurious look, and there aren't a lot of chairs in this scheme which really give off this vibe, and I feel like this chair is perfect for like a really luxurious dining area in a mansion because it almost looks like an armchair, and I really love this. And yeah, this here's kind of the entrance area. There's like so much going on. It's so spacious that there are like so many areas where you can just sit down and think about how amazing your life is in this mansion. Like your sim can just sit there and be like, yeah, I've made it. This is a really cool mansion. And your sims can just enjoy being rich because it's so luxurious and wonderful. But I mean, when you look at real life mansions, there are always so many areas to sit down. So I just included lots of areas. I then decided to use this round room to have a little party area. So I've used the new items so your sims could sit down. Then I've built a dance floor over there, and also the stereo, like this DJ stereo thingy from, I don't even know to which pack it belongs, but it's really fancy. And there are like so many bars in this house, like you could use the whole living area to have the biggest party ever. So I didn't want to include a separate party area, which I sometimes like to do. Like the whole area is perfect for entertaining guests. I've built this gigantic dining area, for example, so you can just have lots of guests over. This is the master bedroom. I've created this really fancy wall behind the bed. I've used the dine out wall decoration that you already saw when I created the office area for the custom table design, and I left a gap in the center so I was able to place the spotty stripe in the center, like this LED strap, and it looks really fancy, and it just mint green for whatever reason. Like I started to use the mint green swatch for the nightstand, and then I just kept on using mint green, and the whole room is kind of mint green and gray for whatever reason, but I think it looks really fancy. The armchair in front of the fireplace was from Decor to the Max, actually, such a really fun kit, like a really cool build kit. And then build a walk-in closet kind of, so it's really luxurious. Once again, so many LEDs. Like this is like the mansion a gamer would build, because there's like so much LED. It just needs more. You just have to change the colors so it's more colorful to really turn this into a gamer's dream mansion. This is a outdoor area because I only used the spotty stony goodness slabs on top. Like remember very early on in the video where I was talking about a tutorial that's coming, where I've just used the spotty stony goodness slabs to create the round shapes on the roof. It's this area, and therefore this area is like not a closed room, and I simply turned it into a really small home gym. And I then started to decorate this room. This is one of the teenager rooms. This one is more modern, really clean and minimalistic. And yeah, the other rooms are more cluttered and colorful, as you will see. And yeah, I also want to quickly mention my Discord server. The Discord server has been around for a couple of years now, and recently there has been so much fun stuff going on. Like for a while it was more quiet, but now there are like new competitions, challenges, and you can just have the best time on this Discord. And thanks to like my amazing mods and admins, like I have so many amazing people over there. It's like such a fun experience. And yeah, if you would like to join so you can show off your amazing work, like your builds, your sims, or in case you want to win a pack and enter a competition, you can just join my Discord. I'm going to link it in the description box, so feel free to join, and you can also just have a chat. I also love to hang out in the Discord, and we can just have a chat. And yeah, feel free to join. I would be very excited to see you over there. And yeah, and don't forget to join a competition if you feel like it, because it's just the best. And here you can see another room. This is also a teenager room. There's just more clutter. It's really cute and beautiful and pink. And yeah, the Barbie's Dream Mansion is coming soon. So I was kind of getting into the Barbie dream house mood here. And I'm just so excited to work on this. And yeah, this video is slowly coming to an end, actually. I didn't include all rooms, but you will see all rooms in the screenshots, including the pool area at the bottom. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope you liked this build. KateEmerald. You can grab it from the gallery. My ID is KateEmerald. You can also grab the tray files. You can grab them from my Patreon. And speaking of which, it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons and my Emerald YouTube members. A big thank you to Mehmet Ali Baris Khan, Paula Anna, Asia, Emma Barnes, Lisa Martin, Saturated Spark, Shannon McClam, Stephen, and Helena Lynn. Thank you so much for your huge support. A big thank you to all my other Patreons and YouTube members, and of course a big thank you to anyone who watches my videos. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here, for watching my videos. This is like the most amazing thing for me, that you are here and you watch my videos, and I appreciate and love you all so much. And yeah, I hope you will have a absolutely perfect day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.